Alright, welcome guys. So I wanted to talk about my PlayStation VR2 experience. So, I bought this game literally just for Alien Rogue Incursion. So I was pretty excited. Pretty much once Alien Romulus came out, enjoyed the movie, and they did release that this game was going to be released. So that's kind of like where, I had my eyes set on either the Quest, or the PSVR2. But I ended up going with the PSVR2 because one, it was on sale, and then two, the Quest version of the Alien game won't release till like February of 2025. So it kind of worked out. So I got that, on Black Friday, November. When I first got it, it came with Horizon, and I did notice the issue with Horizon is like I always had to reset my right controller because for some reason the buttons didn't register, and I thought it was really weird. But I had to do it every time, but it worked fine. And then I played Gran Turismo 7, which is just using my controller, so I never thought much of it. Until the day Alien Rogue Incursion came out, I found out this issue where the right trigger was not working. So the first boot up on the game, I was ready to play, and didn't work. So that's when it led me here to Reddit, and this Reddit user, shout out to you for helping me. But I had to buy this contact solution to clean out the trigger. This is the issue I'm having, and it's only with the right VR controller. So I'm using this game hardware tester gamepad and Access 2. So Access 2 is the trigger. As you can see, when I have the trigger here, I have the trigger. As I'm pushing down, you can see Access 2 goes to 100, or 1. And when I let go, it's at 0.96. But this is supposed to be at -1 and 1. And what happens when this is when I try to use this controller with the video game, it doesn't work. It doesn't respond because even though I'm not pressing it, it's showing that it's not at the -1 like it should be. And for example, I'm going to go ahead and plug in the left controller. The left controller plugged in. As you can see, I'm not pushing it right here. So right there, as you can see, when I'm not pressing it, Access 2 is at -1, and then when I push it, every time I push it, it is 1. So that's the way it should be. So I never have issues with the left controller. And this contact solution, this method did work temporarily for me. Apparently it's a permanent fix for a lot of other owners, but for me it only worked for about a day, and then pretty much the next day it went back to like negative 0.96 or something like that. So at this point, it was either return it through Amazon or go through PlayStation support. I did go to PlayStation support instead, but if you get it from like a local store, you could probably just go and exchange it easier. But yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to share my experience. But this is in fact a hardware issue. It's not software, it's a hardware issue. If you do have this similar problem that I had. But I went to PlayStation support, went through the website, went through the process. I will say when I first called, they did have me do a couple troubleshooting items, which I already did. But that was it. It was just one thing, checking like the trigger effect, and that did not work. So at that point, they send you an empty box that's already pre-labeled, everything's in there, and then they give you these package instructions here. Once you pack it up, you literally just peel off the existing label, and it already has the return label. So at that point, I mailed it out, and it took about, I want to say a couple weeks, and then I got my tracking on the return unit, and when I got it back, I had tested it here. I got my controller back from PlayStation support. Access 2 is at -1. So we should be back in business. I'm gonna test this controller too, just to be safe. So this is now controller 2, or the left one. Yep, -1. Access 2, sweet. So we should be good and back in business. But I just wanted to share my experience, and hopefully, this will help other people understand what as far as the warranty process goes. And if you're having this right trigger, issue as well, that's what I had to do for mine specifically. Anyways, hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you on the next video.